thought the guys came out there, competed. First and foremost, that's a good team. I think they've ended up with 8 wins now. That's a good team. We went toe-to-toe with them the entire game. And I think if anybody watched our game against them last year, both of the football teams that played tonight are just much better than we were at this time last year. Some unforced errors, some things happened outside of our control, but proud of the way the guys competed. A bunch of young guys had to step up. Really proud of some of those guys that on short notice had to jump in and contribute at a high level. And and even on special teams too, there were some guys out there that were out there in uncharted waters for themselves that were battling. But hats off to NC State. That's a really good football team. And, we just got to continue to grow and develop and be able to win those kind of games. Questions?
Okay, if you have questions for Coach Collins, please use the raise hand function within Zoom. We'll call on people individually, beginning with Rod Mckenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Rod.
Hey, Geoff. How you doing? It seemed like the game was, there was a lot of different ways to look at it, but the missed opportunities in the red zone played a big role in the outcome tonight, especially when you have first and goal at the 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there were some unforced errors that got us backed out. We were first and 1 on the 1. Then we got back down. We were second and 1 on the 1. And so those are things that cannot happen when you're in this kind of game against a really good football team. 2-minute drive before the half, we were down to our 3rd string holder tonight. He had never held in a college football game before. And I just, made a decision to go for it in whenever that was, right before halftime, just because I didn't want it to be his first, time doing that on a field goal situation. Came back out later, and I thought Gavin had some good strokes. But, yeah, we got to finish in the red zone. That was a point of emphasis, and we got to continue to do that. And I think, too, Rod, when we go back and look at the season and the times that we could have and should have finished in the red zone, that'll be a story of a lot of the things that we will continue to work on and improve on throughout the offseason and getting ready for next year, too. In the last couple of games of this year, we have to get better. We were 8 for 8 last week, and we saw what happened, and we got to finish in the red zone.
Next question comes from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Geoff, you had 50-something scholarship guys tonight and 3 defensive ends, 2 were true freshmen. That's a lot to kind of overcome at this point in the season. Can you kind of just talk about the resiliency of your team to just even compete like this tonight with so few, down so many guys?
Yeah. Here's the best thing, Kelly. It wasn't even a big deal to the guys. It's just, we didn't miss the guys that couldn't go tonight. Some we found out about today. So those kind of things, the resiliency even before we have to play the game, it's just next man up, and guys are going to step up. We're going to support them. I think we had 4 freshmen starting along the defensive line on the first snap of the game. And, I thought they battled, the rushing yards again, held them to 88 rushing yards, which is hard to do because that team has been running the ball really, really well. And, so just the young guys stepped up at a lot of positions. And, but the resiliency throughout the game, but even the resiliency, just the next man up mentality, put the ball down and, let's go. I didn't know that stat that you threw out there. I knew about the guys missing from the ATL chart, but just the way the guys battled, stayed together is commendable. And it's something to build on as far as our culture goes. And appreciate that.
Next question comes from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Bailey Johnson.
Hey, Bailey.
Hey, Geoff. NC State's offense, I think, averages almost 32 points a game. What can you say about how your defense played, particularly in the second half?
Yeah, I thought we got some really good stops, in the second half in particular, started getting a beat on what they were trying to do. And, I thought Coach Thacker and the guys made some good adjustments. Some leadership stepped up. One of the biggest things too, Bailey, we got to get out of around here is we have to play our brand of football every single play. Positive energy, affecting each other, staying together, both sides of the ball, and just getting the call, lining up, executing at a high level, celebrating things together when something positive happens, regrouping very fast. If something bad happens, whether it's something that we caused or something outside of our control, bad happens to us, we've got to be able to handle those things and continue to work on that. And, some of those situations arose, especially in the first half. And, once we regrouped at halftime and came back out the second half, they did a much better job of just playing football, trying to play at a high level and compete at a high level.
Another question from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution from Ken Segura.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, I was curious, you kicked 2 field goals today from Gavin, and curious just kind of what was your confidence level in him and the unit, and kind of your decisions to kick when you did?
Yeah, and I addressed the first one, Ken, right before the half. We were down to our third team holder, and, just the situation to not kick it on that first one before the half, that was completely on me. But then the second half, we had to get points on the board, and, I thought Gavin did a nice job, and the protection was good, so.
Question from Patrick Canaro from Ramblin' Sports.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Coach. Really strong second half, and your offense really looks very strong on the ground game, particularly. Yeah. Does that mean much going forward? Is that a new plan, or does it depend on week-to-week opponents and situations?
No, I mean, that's the strength of what we do and who we are. And, I thought JP ran really, really hard. So did Dante. Geoff had I think he ran for over 100 yards as well. So just what they do defensively, they were changing looks and changing coverage all the time. And, just got Geoff settled down. He had some strikes in the second half in particular. And, it was good to see him come alive in the second half especially. But, yeah, JP, Dante, I thought Jemias had some really nice runs today too.
We've got time for just a few more for Coach Collins. We'll take the 3 that are left in queue, starting with Rod Mckenzie.
Hey, Geoff, the secondary really struggled with number 86, Amika Zemevi. He really presented a tough out for those guys.
Yeah, that he is a really, really good player. First of all, hats off to him. I mean, some of the catches that he was making, and we knew going into it, I even talked about it on Tuesday, that it is one of the better 50-50 ball receiving cores that we've seen all year. They're big in stature. They're physical. They've got tremendous ball skills. And, we knew it was going to be a challenge, and they made, a bunch of really nice plays today. So hats off to them. But what we do around here is we are aggressive. We put corners on islands, and, we're going to continue to do that. And we've just got to make sure we're doing that all the time. I have extreme confidence in our DBs, in our secondary. And that was another position, the safety / the nickel that just was hanging on by a thread depth-wise. And I'm just really proud of the way they competed. And we went out there and just battled and rotated some guys in. Miles Brooks got some burn at corner today. Jordan Huff, I think, saw his first action as a defensive football player at Georgia Tech today. And, that just speaks to the development, how far they've come, attrition level, obviously, but just really proud of those guys and the way they went out and competed. And we ran the full playbook, the full gamut of what we do. And we're going to be aggressive in coverage. And when you do that, you're going to win a lot of times. You're going to deny a lot of balls. But sometimes you're going to lose a 50-50 ball here and there, especially against quality receivers that we saw tonight. And then nobody's asked about Adonicus. I was really proud of Adonicus, Kelly. It looks like you were about to ask. So Kelly Quinlan, yeah, Adonicus played at a really high level tonight. I just love the way he works. Love the way he comes to the building every single day. His demeanor, he doesn't say a lot. He just goes out there and competes and works, finds ways to get open. And tonight was a night that Geoff was able to find him with some of the things that they were doing. And, the cool thing is, whether he had had 7 catches for 105 yards or he had had 2 catches for 20 yards, Adonica Sanders would have still worked and ran his routes and blocked at a high level, regardless of getting the rock or not. And it was just one of those nights that he got it, and was really proud of the way that he played.
Okay, last question, Ken Segura.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, obviously you've got a real short week coming up here. Can you describe, and obviously you're short a few guys now, what do the next few days look like, and how do you kind of feel about going into this next week?
Yeah, put the ball down. We've got to be ready to go. This is the way it's unfolding. You've been around me, Ken. We don't make excuses. We don't worry about whatever circumstances we're being placed into. We just regroup and try to figure out the best way to keep our guys healthy and safe, to keep our guys engaged, give them a good plan so that they can execute. And, one of the few times in the locker room tonight, I very rarely talk about the next week's schedule, but it was a thing tonight after the game, and I talked to him and told him things that we had to improve on and work on, that I went ahead and told him what this week was going to look like, because it's going to be a unique week, especially coming off, the 28-day window that we had, and now we played the cumulative games, in short, progression. So we'll regroup and we'll figure it out. So the cool thing too is for some of the guys on the roster, it'll be their last game playing in Bobby Dodd Stadium. And so I know that means a lot. Those young men mean so much to me and so much to this fan base. And obviously their parents as well will be there. And we will honor them and we will celebrate them, and give them the respect that they deserve through our preparation, through our commitment to them, and the way we play on Thursday night.
Okay, thank you, Coach. We'll go ahead and get student athletes in here
Thanks, guys.
as soon as possible.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, our first student athlete is quarterback Jeff Sims. We will go ahead and open it right up for questions for Jeff. If you have a question for Jeff, please use the raise hand function within Zoom. We'll call on people individually, beginning with Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, Geoff, I was just curious kind of what you saw, and you guys got across and got into scoring range a couple times and couldn't punch it in. Kind of what do you think happened on those couple of drives that probably kind of were the difference in the game?
We definitely hurt ourselves when we got down in the red zone. Just getting all the penalties that we had, and we got to cut that. That's something that hurt us a lot down the line, so we just got to fix that and work on that.
Next question comes from Rod Mckenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Jeff, what did you see from them early in the game when they were had the ability to stop the run before you were able to get it going? Were they doing anything special you hadn't seen, or what did you see?
Not really. I just think as an offense, we started off slow, and that falls on me because I wasn't juiced up in the beginning. So just got to get the guys going and get the offense rolling early on, and we can't just wait until we get down and things to come strong.
Other questions for Jeff? Another one from Kelly Quinlan.
You guys have continued to run the ball well. Kind of what do you think's been sort of the key to that success on the ground for you guys in the last couple games?
The offensive line opening up the gaps and the running backs running hard, just reading everything, being patient, not letting one guy tackle them.
Another one from Rod Mckenzie.
Hey, Jeff, I imagine you try to take something away from each game and something you want to improve on. What did you see from this game that you need to maybe improve on moving forward?
Don't get off to a slow start. Come out juiced up. Be focused. Cut the penalties. And just go out there and execute and be efficient.
Another one from Kelly Quinlan.
Can you talk about Adonicus' performance today? It seemed like most of his catches moved the sticks, and just you hooked up 7 times for under 5 yards with him. Just talk about that connection you guys had going today.
Yeah, Dono is a really great receiver. He works hard throughout the week, every day, all day. Just came and showed what he can do on the field. He showed up big time. He really needed to play.
Ken Segura, it appeared you were trying to raise your hand and it kept going back down. Do you have a question?
I do. Geoff, obviously, Jordan played well and Dante and Jemias. Without having Jameer in the lineup, kind of what did that mean? How did that change things, you think?
Jameer is definitely a big piece, but I feel like all our running backs are good. So just going out there and pounding the ball, staying patient, reading the gaps, and just going out there and running hard. I know all of the running backs are very close and tight, so whenever one person is down, they just go out there and play for each other.
Okay, if there are no more questions for Geoff, we'll go ahead and let him go. We'll get David Curry up here to represent the defense. So it was just 1 second. Thank you. Okay, representing the defense is senior linebacker David Curry. We'll go ahead and open it right up for questions for David. And the first one comes from Rod Mckenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, David, you guys really came out and took it to North Carolina State in the second half. What did somebody get you guys fired up at the half, or was that just you carrying out what you were supposed to do and taking care of business?
I'd just say it's a combination of the both. Coach Collins came in and at halftime and said, guys, we're worrying about the wrong stuff, and just we need to worry about, staying together and play one play at a time and don't worry about the scoreboard. And so that, and then of course you had leaders, myself and some guys in the offense and other guys on defense step up and, get the guys riled up and ready to go. So, we take pride in coming out strong in the third quarter, and I think we did that well.
Next question comes from Kelly Quinlan.
Hey, David, how hard was it adjusting to – you were down the 4 main defensive ends you guys have played most of the season and down to Antoine and 2 true freshmen. Kind of what was that adjustment like for you guys defensively on the fly?
Well, luckily with how Coach Collins runs his program, all those guys get reps every single week, get reps every single day. And so luckily for those guys, they were able to step in, and I think they played pretty well, for being true freshmen besides Antoine. But, we just have a next guy up mentality. And if you're in ATL, you're expected to be able to play. So I think those guys stepped up and did what they needed to do.
Question from Daniel Shirley from The Athletic.
Hey, David, you guys have a short week this week, and it'll be your last game at Bobby Dodd. Have you thought about that, what that's going to be like after everything you've been through with the program?
To be honest with you, it kind of really hit me hard right after this game that next week's my last game at Bobby Dodd. It's bittersweet, man. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it because I don't want it to end. But it is a short week. Coaches are great about taking care of our bodies. They got all the science into it and stuff. But this is going to be the same David Curry. It's going to be the same defense. We're going to prepare, and we're going to be ready to go.
Next question is another one from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, David, I was just curious kind of the adjustments since the long break. It seems like you guys have played a lot better on defense. Kind of, is there anything you can point your finger to why you guys have been more successful?
I think personally we were way too sloppy tonight, penalty-wise. We got to lock down on all, up front, linebackers, secondary. We got to lock down and do our job. But I honestly think that we're having fun. Not being able to play for those three weeks. I think it brought a lot of fire into some guys missing football, and so us being able to get back and play some football is the game that we love to play. It's pretty fun, and I think that's what lit a fire underneath us. And of course, Coach Stack and Coach Collins, they always have a fantastic game plan, and I think Coach Stacker caught an unbelievable game the past 2 games. It's just we got to get it done on all sides of the ball.
Time for a couple more for David. We'll start with one from Ken Segura from the AJC.
Hey, David. Coach Collins had mentioned that there were some of the absences today that you guys didn't know about even until today. Can you describe kind of just pregame and even during the game of kind of what the changes were like and what that was like to have to kind of readjust on the fly?
I mean, like I said before, it's an ATO depth chart, so everybody that's on the plane is expected to be able to play. Yeah, we had some big hits, but it's just, like I said, it's the next guy up. Coaches decide, with what we have, they decide to maybe tweak the game plan a little bit here and there. But ultimately, if you're on the plane, you're expected to be able to play. So I think that the guys that stepped up, I think they played well.
And the final question for David is another one from Rod Mckenzie.
Hey, David, you've already gone through the process of putting in a game plan for Pitt once before. Mentally, will that make it a little easier week for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, since we've already done our preparation for them, I guess you can just pick up from right there. But when you're, it's football, so you got to reset every single week, and yes, I guess to answer your question, yes, it will be a little bit easier. We'll be a little bit ahead, and which is good because we got such a short week. But we will be prepared. We'll be ready to play.